It is the 28th of March, Rabbi Levitt, Daniel.
Okay, so let's see where we are. We are the day before we got up to verse 26. Looks like we finished the parak. We had a round of applause,
Right.
and then we read the first pasuk of the 10th. Yeah, yeah. Also, I guess we're up to, I think we're up to the second pasuk in parak, parak, parak yud.
Somehow I lost
Chapter
my
10, verse 2.
chapter 10.
The first pasuk says we're in the third year of Koresh, Melech Pras, and a matter was revealed to Daniel. And here they go out of the way for some reason to say that, by the way, he used to be called Belshazzar. That's what it sounds like.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we looked it up last time. We saw where it was where they original gave him that name. It was in 1-7, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. They gave him the name, and then that was given by the chief officer of Nebuchadnezzar
Right.
under his direction. And then uh, after Nebuchadnezzar uh, passed away, and then they had there was another king, and then there was another king. The whole um, anyway, what am I trying to say? There was there was the famous incident with the handwriting on the wall. That was
Right.
in the time of the grandson of Nebuchadnezzar, Belshazzar,
Right.
and at that point, the queen came in. There was a big hubbub. Everybody was quite in a state of a tumult as, from this handwriting on the wall in the middle
Right.
of their party, and then the queen came in. She wasn't in the party, and she said, um, why don't you call Daniel? Even though your own Chachamim were not able to tell you what it means, but I'm sure that Daniel will know. So that's when they called him Daniel, and then they called him Daniel ever since.
Right.
Now, for some reason, they were mentioning the fact that his name is or used to be Belshazzar also. Okay, fine. But nobody makes any comment about it. They don't. The commentators don't make any deal of it. So okay, so we won't make a deal of it either. I was just interested. I mean, why all of a sudden we were mentioning the fact that his name is Belshazzar? But okay, well we can go further. So let's go to some type of a matter was revealed to Daniel. It was true, but for a long time off. And okay, fine. So now we're gonna see the next puzzle.
Okay, so we're up to which pasuk now? Number three?
Ace.
Two. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's see. Base. Biyami biya ba ya mim hahem ani Daniel hayisi mis abel shlosha shavuim mayim yamim. So let's see what it means. In those days, I, Daniel, was mourning 3 weeks of days.
Yosef?
Uh, Tell him I'll call him back at 11:30. Um, okay, so let's see if there's commentary here. Um, I had been mourning. Daniel was mourning because of Cyrus' revocation of his permission to build the temple, as told in Ezra.
Oh. Hmm.
Do we look at Ezra?
Yeah, we have Ezra right here.
What do you mean we had it right here?
We got it in this book. In this book that we bought is not just Daniel. We have Ezra and Nehemiah
Oh,
in one.
yeah, look at that. Ezra. Okay, so let's go to Ezra 4:5. Ezra 4. Ezra 4:17. Ezra 4:8. Ezra 4:5. They hired advisors against them to disrupt their plans all the days of Cyrus, king of Persia, until the reign of Darius, king of Persia. During the reign of Ahasuerus, at the beginning of his reign, they wrote a calumny against the inhabitants of Judah and Jerusalem. That doesn't sound like permission to build the temple. Uh, let's see, let's go back a little bit and see if it's in the previous verse.
Yeah, like if you go back a few verses, you see that where does it?
Yeah, it says, but Zerubbabel, along with Jeshua and the rest of the family heads of Israel, said to them, it is not for you together with us to build a temple for our God. Rather, we by ourselves will build it for Hashem, God of Israel, as King Cyrus, king of Persia, has commanded us. Then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah and frightened them from building. They hired advisors against them to disrupt their plans all the days of Cyrus, king of Persia, until the reign of, excuse me, Darius, king of Persia. During the reign of Ahasuerus, at the beginning of his reign, they wrote a calumny against the inhabitants of Judah and Jerusalem. Okay, so it sounds like there was some kind of a strife between the Jews, some kind of internal strife that prevented them.
Well, actually, it says if you take a look at the note, the beginning of chapter 4, the good Samaritans, the ones that Sennacherib had brought from I guess Assyria, and they put them in Eretz Israel. They started to. It says that they're the ones that Rashi says were the enemies of Yehuda and Binyamin.
Right. And
They're not really.
they were
They're
the
not really.
Cushites.
It's a question whether they're really Jews or not. Their conversion was questionable. And anyway, so they were apparently the ones that um, they're the ones this pasuk is talking about.
Same as Samaritans, and the same as they were from Assyria.
Them,
Are you there, Rabbi?
yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Something just happened. I got a message that the connection was broken, but I guess it's not. Okay. Let's see. 3 weeks of days in the commentary. The translation follows Ibn Ezra, Reb Sadia, and Abarbanel. Evidence for this translation is also provided by Ralbag, Ibn Yahya, and others. Rashi who interprets Mayim as years, I'm sorry, Yamim as years, uh, as in Leviticus 25:29, Yamim,
Okay.
yeah, Geula so. Its period of redemption shall be a year. Understands that 3 weeks of years are meant here, i.e., 21 years. Daniel warned during the 18 years from the first year of Darius the Mede to the second year of Darius the Persian. Let's see, 21 years. Okay. When the temple construction restarted, Rashi speculates that Daniel's 3 additional years of mourning could have taken place because Darius the Mede ascended his throne. Or perhaps Daniel had vowed, for an unknown reason, to mourn for a total of 21 years, and therefore continued to mourn even while and after the temple was being rebuilt. Alternatively, having already seen that a monarch, Cyrus, could give permission to build, only to revoke his decree, Daniel may not have ceased his mourning when Darius gave permission to restart the building of the temple, but only when its construction was finally completed.
Ahab may not have ceased from him.
Okay, so that was verse 2. Verse 3, I ate no desirable bread, meat, or wine did not enter my mouth, and I did not anoint myself until the completion of the 3 weeks of days.
Wow. So that's like 21 years.
Yeah, that's a long time for not eating meat or wine or good bread. Wow, that's pretty intense. Let's see, what does the commentary say? Desirable bread, white, clean bread. So he didn't eat clean white bread
Lechem hamudos.
for 21 years. Similarly, we find in Bereshis, ha mudos, which Unclus renders dach Yasa, the clean ones. Abarbanel and the Pseudos assume that Daniel's mourning mentioned in verse 2 included refraining from eating the designated foods day and night, but not necessarily that he fasted. Ula his anos in the verse 12 can mean afflict yourself instead of fasting. As on Yom Kippur, when there are additional afflictions besides eating and drinking, Barbanel therefore interprets this verse as even desirable bread I did not eat, i.e., even though bread is desirable and healthy to the body, I did not partake of it. The same is true for meat and wine. Abarbanel points out as a youth in Nebuchadnezzar's palace, Daniel ate pulse and drank water. Now that he was older, he would normally eat bread, meat, and wine, if not for his mourning. Malbim assures that he fasted, but during the days only. Even when he broke his fast at night, he refrained from such foods as desirable bread. Okay. Verse 4. Then on the 24th day of the first month, I was next to the great river, which is Hiddekel. Okay, let's see. On the first month, according to the Torah, which commands us to consider Nisan the first month of the year, we should identify this month as Nisan. Ibn Ezra asks, if this month were Nisan, Daniel would not have drunk the 4 cups of wine on Passover. Ibn Ezra therefore reasons that this is not the first month of the calendar year, but the year counted from the month of Cyrus' ascension to the throne. A similar instance is found in Ezekiel, where Rosh Hashanah, the beginning of the year, refers to the month of Av, the first month of the exile. Abarbanel assumes that the morning started on the 1st of Nisan and continued to the 24th of Nisan. Let's see, excluding the Sabbaths. If we allow for 3 Sabbaths, this brings us to a total of 21 days of mourning. Apparently, he felt that the stopping of the temple's construction warranted not drinking the 4 cups on Passover as an expression of mourning. We find a similar instance of a fast taking place on Passover in Esther 4:17. See Megillah 15a. The great river. The Midrash, Bereshit Rabbah, points out that the Euphrates is called the Great River. However, the Hiddekel is here called the Great River in comparison to the Ulai stream, where Daniel had seen a vision previously. Mechilta to Exodus states, even though he spoke to them, i.e., the prophets, in the exile, he spoke to them only in a pure place near water, i.e., near water.
Hmm. In other words, since they're now in Chutz La'aretz, they're not in Eretz Israel, so they're not in the land of Nevuah. They're not in the land of closeness to Hashem. So the Nevuah is compromised, but there was still these visions that Daniel received, even though he was not in Eretz Israel anymore. But they always were next to the river, near water, because water is a pure place, like the waters of a mikveh.
So therefore, he can have prophecy there,
Therefore, yeah,
even
that's where
though it
we
was
got
not
the
Eretz
visions.
Israel.
What?
Even though it was not Eretz Israel, he could have prophecy because it was near water.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. They could have gone into this over here, but they didn't for some reason.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, weiter. I raised my eyes and saw, behold, one man clothed in linen, his loins girded with fine gold. Okay, let's see. One man, Yichud. Rabag and Abarbanel identify this man as the angel Gabriel. The angel revealed to Daniel in his previous visions that, I'm sorry, in his previous visions, the angel Gabriel revealed himself to Daniel. Support for this view can be found in Rashi, Tanchuma, and Zohar Bereshis, where Ish is identified as the angel Gabriel. Rashi 11:1 also mentions Gabriel as the angel speaking to Daniel on the connection between Ish and Gabriel. Ibn Yahya understands the Ish, man, to be an anthropomorphic representation of Hashem, similar to the Adam, man described in the Merkava of Ezekiel. The mystery surrounding the meaning of this vision renders it inappropriate to elaborate upon. A vision that even the prophets Haggai Zechariah and Malachi did not have the privilege to see. They did not have the privilege to see this vision of Hashem as a man, I guess. It will suffice here to quote the words of the Yerushalmi, Rosh Hashanah 2:5, in referring to the angel described here. He has 5 attributes, i.e., the fire details. His body was like Tarshish. His face was like the appearance of lightning. His eyes like flaming torches. His arms and legs like the color of burnished copper. The sound of his words loud as the sound of a multitude. With fine gold, the translation follows Radak, Mitsudos, and Reb Shmuel Mansnuth. Yet another translation of Ketem as pearls. Rashi renders Ketem as a combination of gold and the precious stones. Here it would mean a belt of fine bejeweled gold. Okay, that was 5. Now we're on to 6. His body was like Tarshish, his face like the appearance of lightning, his eyes like flaming torches, his arms and legs the color of burnished copper. We read that already. We read 6. I was off on the commentary, I think. His body was like Tarshish. His body was the color of a precious stone called Tarshish. Radak says it is a bluish stone. This seems to be Rashi's opinion too, as well as Onkelos. In Exodus, that's the quote from Rashi is in Exodus. Joseph Kara in Ezekiel gives crystal as a translation, and Ibn Ezra is skeptical about Rabsadia Gaon's translation of the names of the precious stones because of the multiplicity of views we have left. Tarshish is untranslated. There's so many different ways of understanding Tarshish that they decided not to translate it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think that's it for today, Rabbi.
All right. So we're in the middle of this vision that Daniel is getting.
Yeah, it's pretty esoteric. I'm not really getting much out of it because it's so there's so many words here that and so many different translations of the words that it gets confusing.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, they get that. They're very. Yeah, they devoted a lot of attention in this volume to the translation of the words and all the different. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly why they did that. Maybe in other later editions they didn't do that.
Yeah, it's not necessarily so helpful.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah, more substantive commentary about
What it
like I
all
noticed over here what it says over here, and it says that this what Daniel is going to be revealed right now is a vision which is going to explain to him in greater detail to allow him to understand the previous visions that he had. So okay, anyway, you have yeah, yeah, right. You're not sure how to yeah.
right. Well, have a good Shabbos, Rabbi. Thank you so much.
Okay, all the best. Have a great Shabbos, Lou.
Mitzvah Hashem. See you on Sunday at 10:30.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.